For all the flaws that we can point out in the Galar region, one thing I do find that Pokemon games have a bit of, no matter what version you are playing, is those little areas and places that you forget even exist, or you totally miss unless you actively search for them. And that's what we're doing today, the beautiful, secret and hidden areas in Pokemon Sword and Shield you might have missed. So keep in mind, some of these areas you may have seen, but some you may have missed in your first playthrough. So that's what we're doing today. Let's get right into the secret and hidden areas in Pokemon Sword and Shield you might have missed. Also, at 700 likes, I'll begin work on hidden areas in older Pokemon games where you can find more crazy stuff like legendaries and those sort of things. So 700 likes, I'll get started on that video. But either way, let's get right into this one. Starting off the list will be the island on Route 2. So this is a place you can't actually reach at the beginning of your journey because you won't have the bike or the ability for the bike to go on water. So a lot of people totally forget that it exists, but once you have gained a bike and the ability to use it on water, which is about the 6th or 7th gym, give or take. I actually think it's about the 5th or 6th gym, give or take around there. Once you've done that, you'll be able to head back there, use your bike to reach the Route 2 island, which is at the middle of the lake. Here you'll be able to find stuff like higher level Pokemon, as well as a few items that you may or may not have actually already had. And it's a little nice area just to relax at, right? So it's a cute little island. It's pretty much an area that's only reachable at the latter half of your journey. In the beginning, you'll see this place, you'll see this actual island, but you will not be able to actually reach out and get to it, which is unfortunate because, it would be nice to be able to go there straight away, but I guess it's kind of more intriguing because you'll be able to go back there at the end of your journey. Next is the hidden Hammerlocke water dock, which really rhymes in a weird way. But yeah, it's the dock in Hammerlocke that you can get to that's hidden. So if you are in Hammerlocke, you can head to the west of the city. Here you'll go past a guy who is looking for an Applin or whatever. You can go past him, and once you go past that, you'll be able to find this hidden little dock. Now, this is kind of interesting because here you'll also find an old man, and he will offer to teach your starter Pokemon a combo move, as he is the tutor for those. So basically, you can talk to him, give your starter Pokemon a combo move, but also on top of that, it's a nice little area that's just kind of hidden away. It's not like in the open, just in your face. It's kind of slightly hidden. And also, you can look at the beautiful water, the beautiful atmosphere actually here, and just enjoy that. And on top of that, if your Pokemon doesn't have its combo move already, you can get it from this man, and that's basically that. However, next on the agenda, we're gonna get ourselves to none else than the Isle of Armor. See, for the most part, people have discovered most of the stuff on this island, but there is a lot of side islands, within the area of the Isle of Armor, and stuff like that is easily overlooked and ignored when you play through on your first try, right? When you play through initially, you may miss some of the specific areas because you're busy with the story or you're busy looking for specific Pokemon, so you get kind of caught up in that. But that leads me to this specific place, and one of those places is the Rotom Island that you can find right about here. So it's literally when you get to the Isle of Armor outside the station, if you head straight to the east when you come outside, you can get to it. Now, this whole island is basically just a place roaming with a bunch of Rotons, right? You'll be able to find one major thing, which is the Rotoms here in different forms. So it's definitely a nice place to go to, and it's also somewhat hidden. You can also find something very interesting here, which is the lady that will be able to make you a Galarica cuff, right? So Galarica cuffs, for those who do not know, is the item that you need to evolve Galarian Slowpoke into Galarian Slowbro. So a pretty cool place with unique things to find and explore, but on top of that, it's somewhat hidden and isn't very apparent at first, as you will ignore it when you see it in the distance, because oftentimes Pokemon games, if you see something in the distance, it means you can't reach it, but in this case, you actually can. So in this situation, it's a pretty cool and awesome place, and I definitely think you should check it out if you've got the time. Next, we have another area, which is the secret rooftops on Stow-on-Side. So first up is the large rooftop that you can get onto. This one is to the west side of the city. Now, if you go towards the west, you'll find a sort of alleyway. Now this alley will have a few cute like Diglets just chilling, you know, within this place doing their little thing, but also like there's like drawings on the ground of like Pokeballs and like Great Balls, Ultra Balls, etc. But that's not the point though. If you get here and continue going through this area, you will notice that there is a ladder going to the top of the roof. Now this ladder will take you to the top of the roof where you can find basically a TM and as well as some other things, and of course also a beautiful, like a totally beautiful view of the city itself as you're overlooking it. But on top of that, there's also another roof that is more to the east, so to say, and you can get on top of it as well, which will allow you to sort of have like a cool little obstacle course to go through, as it's somewhat like from a top view and you can't really stay there and look at things, but it just allows you to jump down a bunch of like boxes, get an item, and that's basically what it does. But other than that though, the main roof, right, the main rooftop has to be one of the most atmospherically cool things you'll find in any Pokemon game, and that's kind of the advantages of playing this game in 3D, right? That's the advantage of having a Pokemon game in 3D, is we're able to see these beautiful, like truly beautiful places that they make in this 3D environment, making it far more realistic, right? Which is kind of the advantage they have. So this is one of those things I think looks fantastic. I think it's beautiful to see like the little water falling down to like the left side. It's just fantastically beautiful and definitely a worthwhile hidden area to check out. Next is the beautiful views you can find in Wyndon. So for all its flaws, I'd say that the view by the river that you find in Wyndon makes up for everything. See, being able to see essentially the league building to your right and have like a seat, basically just sit down on this bench and then look at the giant league building, as well as in the distance, you can also see the city, like the actual Wyndon city with like the skyscrapers and stuff. And it is honestly beautiful because it makes the whole city feel much larger. But on top of that, you will also see like a subway train thing that will basically roll by right above you. Like it literally will roll by right next to you, giving the whole place a more realistic atmosphere that makes it feel so much more beautiful, but also way more realistic, right? Because normally in a real city, there'll be a lot of things going on, a lot of sprawling buildings, a lot of large stuff, as well as like, you know, well, vehicles and stuff going past. And this actually does that perfectly. It's just like the perfect place to go for like a very relaxing Pokemon experience, and I'd highly recommend it if you're looking for an area to take some great screenshots and stuff. This is definitely the place for specifically that. So I highly recommend the sort of like river road, so to say. I'm not really sure what to call it, but the river sidewalk, which is right in Wyndon. Next is, however, the Game Freak offices. Now this is a somewhat secret place, as the office for Game Freak this time around is basically, or rather literally, inside of a hotel room. So yeah, normally the office is an actual office, but this time around they just slapped the office into a normal hotel room within Chichester. So this is less of a place you want to go to for a beautiful view, but rather an area that you are sort of, you know, necessary to go to if you want to get certain things, like for example a battle with Morimoto, or for example NPCs that will hand you access to certain items upon completion of certain tasks, like for example the Pokédex and whatnot. But yeah, a hidden place that is sort of necessary to go to in case you're looking for certain items and things within that sort of area of things. But if you're looking for like beautiful places, then all the previous ones on the list are more or less better to check out. And finally, the place we're taking a look at is actually multiple places. See, the wild area, you may have noticed, hasn't really been mentioned much in this video. And the reason for this is because, well, what I noticed is that the wild area is somewhat limited in things that are hidden or secret or unique to find, to be honest. But there are some places that are definitely, you know, interesting because they aren't accessible in the start of the game. Like for example, the Lake of Outrage, which is actually pretty beautiful. It's a giant place with like a giant circle of boulders around it, and it has a lot of unique and cool and very strong Pokemon for you to find. Actually, also some Pokemon only spawn there, so definitely a useful place to go to. But then you also have something like Giant's Mirror with its cute little like pond or lake, I guess, whatever you want to call it, and it's just kind of a beautiful atmospheric place. So my point is this though, right? The wild area is kind of limited in what it has to offer, and the secret places you can find there are somewhat limited in scale versus what you can find, you know, in terms of secret and hidden little places and, you know, nooks and crannies within the Isle of Armor in comparison. So hey, I wanted to include it anyways because I know people might mention it, so there's that. And so, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this video. Now, I know that Sword and Shield are really not that loaded with secret hidden places, which is why I want to cover some of the older Pokemon games, which did have a lot of very unique and hidden areas that most of you guys may not remember or totally missed during your playthroughs back in the day. So that's what we're going to do in the next video if this one hits 700 likes. So yes, 700 likes, and you can expect a video very soon of the hidden and secret areas that you can find back in the older Pokemon games. So, thank you so much for watching. Have us a great day. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitch, as I'll be doing some challenge runs and gameplay type of stuff for Pokemon over there. So, my Twitch channel will be linked down below. Feel free to follow if you want to. And that's basically the end for today. Make sure to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Peace out and bye-bye.